We are getting very close to Arsenal playing Manchester United. And as an Arsenal fan, I'm wearing my kit today. There you go. Let me put my boob in your face. As a Arsenal fan, we've gone through the trauma. We went for our first 3 games where we were suffering brutal abuses in the hands of Manchester City, Chelsea, and Brentford. But since then, we seem to have done all right, apart from losing to Liverpool 4-0, which we won't talk about because it's not important. We've actually gone on a really solid run. And if I look at if I look at the table, because I'm not very smart, okay, I don't always understand these shiny numbers that are there. But if I look at the table now, I believe we are above you. Not only above you, we're 5 places above you, and not only 5 places above you, we're 5 points ahead of you. And not only are we ahead of you, I feel today the number 5 is going to reoccur, and I'm looking at a really powerful 5-0 win for Arsenal. What are your thoughts of your mediocre team and your part-time manager? How do you feel?
Well, first of all, you're gas.
I know, right?
So, I mean, we're only like, what, we're 14, 13 games in, so you must call. And, Man U were going through a transition at the moment. Ollie lost the changing room, you could tell. We're starting to get our rhythm back. Sancho started doing a madness. He's come out of his shell. And we'll pick it up. And, squeaky bum time, you know what happens after Christmas. Everyone knows what happens after Christmas. Arsenal are just volatile. So you won, what have you won? 3 on the trot. You're doing okay at the moment. You've got like a good rhythm going. But, you'll get patterned. Wolves will come and pattern you. You'll get a little 2-0 confidence dips. You lot are not playing. I hate Arsenal. Don't let me get that. I hate Arsenal. But I used to love the way you play. That tiki-taka football, how you used to damage teams.
How do you feel? Sorry, how do you feel about Arsenal?
I despise that team. But I used to love the way you lot played. Like, the 1-2s and how you absolutely destroy teams from the get-go. You had pure leadership. But you don't really play like that anymore. We don't really play. And then the other thing that made me hate you was just what you did to Wilcott. You ruined him. You ruined him. Walcott. Theo.
How did we ruin him?
You ruined him, bruv.
We gave him everything that he was.
The man said that he wanted to be a forward. He's not a forward. He's a winger. Okay, he's got pace.
Didn't he ruin him then? He's not fast anymore.
No, you lot allowed him. You did. You didn't brief him well enough and say, look, you're a winger, G. That's where you need to be. You're not a striker. You lot do things like that.
No, I think as you are a Conservative Party donor, I know you believe in self-determination. So
I'm a liberal. Throwing out these wild accusations.
I know you believe in self-determination. So
a donor, I just about got money for myself. Did you see? I just did big holiday. Yeah. I still have to pay off.
Shouts to her as well.
My fiance, yeah. Always, each and every.
Umar, please give me a prediction because I just feel like the absurdities of this team. I'm going 5-0 Arsenal because I think the 5 is going to continue.
You're mad. 5-0.
I'll leave you to bask in your foolishness. I predict 2-1 United, Sancho, Ronaldo. And will probably be a Maguire own goal for you lot. I can see something like that happening, to be honest with you.
That's the most authentic thing you've said all day.
So I don't see any Arsenal player getting a goal past De Gea tonight. And again, I think like Marlon, this season's just been it was full of promise, and I know there's been a lot of talk about did Ronaldo coming in upset the balance of the team, and I think that's a discussion for another day, because obviously United were kind of flying high to begin with, and then he came in and then things started to kind of peter off a little bit, and obviously they're trying to find a way to play Ronaldo. The new manager Ragnick coming in, I think it's going to be it's needed. We need to have that level of stability for the rest of the season. Ole just was not going to cut it, and then I think obviously we need to look at what it means going forward. And there's two names in the frame. It's going to be Ten Hag or Pochettino. I think it's one of those two. I think to come in. My issue, and knowing how the board operates, is what happens if Ragnick does a great job? Does the interim become the permanent, and then we completely abandon what we done? Because that's essentially what we did with Solskjaer 3 years ago. You know, he did such a great job, and it was that win against PSG, that last minute win that we had, that basically has given us these 3 years. But yeah, going back to your question, yeah, 2-1 United. Sancho, Ronaldo, Maguire. And you lot can go back down the M6 and just have a think about your foolishness. Well, I think you're playing Everton next, so you may not need to go back down.
We're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out and whoop some
Yeah.
ass. Are we playing at home? Are we playing at your ground?
You're at Old Trafford tonight.
I hate that pitch. It's so big. Marlon, what's your
Yeah.
predictions?
I want to say 3-1, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think either a 2-0 or a 1-0 for United. I mean, the whole Maguire and Luke Shaw thing. I don't know if you've watched the games intently enough, but the communication between Maguire and Luke Shaw is just off. They're very confused, and the people are exploiting that gap. And then Wan-Bissaka, he's phenomenal, but he's wild like Rocco. He reminds me of, he will do a mad kick, or he will kick someone, or he will miss the ball. Like, his intent's there, but he's just like, so focused on. So I think we will concede at some point. So probably in the region of 2-1. And I want to say Sancho. Ronaldo will definitely get one. He hates Arsenal just as much as I do. So yeah, probably Sancho, Ronaldo.
You know, I'm changing mine. Yeah, I think it's gonna be 5-1 because I think Ronaldo will score because that's just what he does. But still, definitely 5 though. Do you know what it
So
is?
who's going to score for you?
For us, I think it's gonna be
Lacazette?
No, we always have
Ozil coming back.
different scorers, and so it will be Gabriel from a header for sure. It'll be Ben White from a corner for sure. It'll be Saka, Smith Rowe, and then one tapping right at the end by Aubameyang.
Saka's the only person that really worries me. He's got feet.
I think
all the rest of them.
you know what it is?
bothered.
It's like Arsenal are where Liverpool were when they were like okay, but they weren't competing. They were just okay. They were good. Klopp just came in, and then they brought in Van Dijk and Alisson, and then it all just landed. I think we're 2 players away from it landing, and I appreciate. It's hard to see in this time.
Don't you ever put yourselves and Liverpool in the same bracket?
No, but if you think about it, yeah, if you think about it,
you've
Liverpool
got a
had
mid-table specialist.
No. We're fifth right now. We're fifth, and
Right now.
and when we win today, we're going to be 4th for the first time. We're going to be in the top 4. So if you think about it, yeah, we got Saka and Smith Rowe, yeah. They had Salah and Mane, yeah. Firmino, I didn't really rate. We got Partey and the Congo, that's a real partnership. It's a whole thing. Yeah, the defense is consistent. It's the first time we're playing the same defenders every game, no matter what. That's fantastic. Goalkeeper's consistent. So we got a foundation. Yeah. So if we got one more amazing midfielder, yeah, and then we got Vlahovic from Fiorentina, we would be something. Like, I'm not even saying win the league. I'm just saying that changes the game from being this floaty 4-6 team into, like, I think we could own one of the top 4 positions and edge someone out. The only challenge we have right now, yeah, is that Chelsea and Man City are just going to hold that top 4 space for a while because they've invested really well. I think Liverpool are going to burn out with this team in the next 2 years, and then they're going to have to rebuild, and they're going to struggle to do so. So they'll come out. And I think Man United may get it, but I think they're still quite a way away. So I think Arsenal, Man United, and Liverpool's decline will make an interesting group of 3. I don't think West Ham can sustain. So I do think we have... I'm more optimistic about us than I am about you, and that's being authentic, not like, taking the piss out of the fact that Carrick is your manager.
Well, it's interesting, actually, because obviously, like you say, right now, as the season's progressing, it is, it's 2 points that separates Chelsea and Liverpool in first and third. So, it's going to be tight. And I think it's one of those situations where I think this will go down to the last game of the season. Those are going to finish in the top three. Whatever order it is, I don't know. I'll probably put Chelsea slightly ahead of City to win the league this season based on the strength and depth that they got. It's going to be a battle for that fourth position now. And I think, once, hopefully United start to play a bit, Spurs, once Conte starts to get them playing, Arsenal, West Ham, I doubt that they're going to be able to maintain this throughout the whole season, but I think they'll probably still, they've got the Europa League that they're playing in, so, their focus is obviously going to be around winning a trophy of some sort, so they're going to tail off at some point. So, yeah, I think it's going to get interesting. And like you say, Arsenal Man United 10 years ago, that was an event. That was a big event. Now, we have to be real. It is not, it's not a big thing. I know Amazon Prime are showing it tonight.
Are
so
they?
Yeah, because they're showing all the games this week. So even yesterday, because I switched it on because I was going to watch something else. I was like, oh, they're showing Everton Liverpool, and then obviously Watford Chelsea.
I wish I knew that.
So I was like,
okay, cool. Big.
Yeah. So yeah, it's on Prime tonight, 8:15 kickoff. So I'll watch it, but it's not the same as it was during the Thierry Henry, Martin Keown days. Van Nistelrooy. That's when it was proper. Now, Arsenal Man United is not something to jump up about. I think whoever wins is like, okay.
Yeah, welcome to mediocrity. Democracy.
Basically, yeah. So I now know how Liverpool fans have felt. 25 years. Honestly, because I've grown up in the 90s and obviously the early 2000s only knowing victories, only knowing trophies. That's all I saw. Yeah. From the age of 5, that's all I was seeing was Man United winning all the time. And obviously, conversely, Liverpool fans haven't seen their team. So it's like they've always been on the cusp. For us right now, we're nowhere near the cusp of anything. But yeah, it's but
you know what it is, yeah. The reason why I think that we're more optimistic about Arsenal, it's not. I think you are a bigger club, and you've got way better players. But I think the thing is that I don't know I can't see where it gels, and I think Ronaldo took you in a distracting direction because I think if Rashford, Sancho, and Greenwood were up front right now, and you're in the same place, I would be able to be like, I get that, I see this. But with Cavani and Cristiano Ronaldo, it muddies it. I think with Pogba, it muddies it. Mainly because I don't see where he's going to fit in to the system. Like, him and Bruno are not going to play with those three.
Pogba's off.
Yeah.
He'll be off.
You've got a lot.
He's going to sign. He'll sign a pre-contract with Barcelona or Real Madrid in January. There's no question about that. And again, I think even the Ronaldo thing, it feels more of a... Obviously, City will continue to deny it, but I think they were in for him, and then we signed him to stop him from going there. And then that kind of upset the whole balance of the team. And I was lucky enough to be at the first game when he made his second debut against Newcastle, and you could tell it was very much like, I'm sure Solskjaer's team talk on that day was, just get it to Ronaldo. Literally, just keep getting the ball to Ronaldo, because that's how it felt watching that game. It literally felt like that's what they were doing. So I think it's kind of upset the apple cart a little bit. And I think it needs to... I think for United, there's a few players that need to go. Pogba being one of them. He had a good start at the start of the season, and now he's where he is. And I think with Ronaldo as well, he's going to be, he's 36, but he's playing like he's 28 type of thing at times. But again, I think he's going to eventually be phased out, and he's just going to become an impact sub, I think. Because my problem was Solskjaer was starting him too often, and I think he's probably going to be more impactful as the seasons go on, coming from the bench. So, yeah, but... We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right then, family. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for sticking around and having this conversation. I look forward to texting you all my cheek as we go 4-1 up. And Aubameyang taps in the last minute. But yeah, man, let's catch up and see what happens afterwards, man. I think we're going to end up doing this more often, actually, because I like telling you about yourself about football, because, you're 10th or something. Are you 10th?
Alright, well,
I don't scroll that far down. I don't know what happens after.
We'll see. We'll see in 10 games. We'll see in 10 games.
Oh, cause you...
not even then, Marlon. We'll see at 10:30 this evening.
Oh, okay.
when your phone's off.
How
Yeah,
many?
don't worry.
How many major trophies has Rangnick win? Sorry, is it? How many trophies is it? Is it?
How many trophies have Arsenal
is
won?
it 50 or 0? Is it? How much
How
is it?
dare you?
Right.
Here we go.
And
Let me go earn some bread for my family.
Yay! I broke him down to leave. I jumped out. All right, bye.
Take care, man.
All right, Leo.